So this is pretty absolutely insane. So Michael Bloomberg is a candidate who's an oligarch, okay? He's basically a really rich business guy with a lot of political influence, and he's also a plutocrat because his political power derives from his wealth. And so he's a bit of a flip-flopper, and he's most well known for his stop and frisk policy. Now, before we jump into that, I want to let you guys know I'm over on Patreon, patreon.com/theprogressivevoice. I have a ton of Patreon-only content as well as early access videos over there, and also it supports the show, especially with a bunch of YouTube demonetizations coming in. So make sure to go over there. The link is in the description box, patreon.com/theprogressivevoice. Support the show and get Patreon-only content. But anyways, so Joy Ann Reid is jumping in on this because Benjamin Dixon of Benjamin Dixon's show, he just found this on YouTube. And he posts this clip of Bloomberg, like, saying this racist-ass shit. He says, like, you could Xerox copy, basically, the stereotypical black male who he would stereotype as, like, a criminal. And then, saying that then there's an audio clip of him there's a video clip of him on a podcast where he's saying, I think whites are discriminated against, or we're not, like, discriminating against black people enough. So let's see what Joy Ann Reid, this is the woman who's been saying that the Bernie bros and how they don't have any black people, and I love Hillary Clinton, and she called Hillary Clinton, I think, a racist in the 2008 race. So let's hear what she has to say.
Black mayors where they are. So he's got a lot of potential to have black elected officials, and you see them coming forward because he's actually put his money where his mouth is on those liberal causes. On the other hand, he did the two things that really go together, which is gentrification and stop and frisk in New York, so that when you're gentrifying a neighborhood in Brooklyn, now the new people who move in, the rich people, are afraid of the old people that were there, that were in the projects in Fort Greene, and then you start stop and frisk, and it's intense, and he's been defending it right up until last year. He defended the crime bill, and he said, I don't understand why Joe Biden is embarrassed about being white. Why is he apologizing for being white? So he still sounds like a Republican to a lot of people. So it's a weird coalition, but I gotta tell you, if this is an exhaustion election, which I think it is, an exhaustion election means people just want to sleep at night.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Coming from someone with severe insomnia, they're saying that Trump is exhausting. So even, and I know Republicans who, they don't mind the fiscal policies of Trump. They like that, but they also want to sleep at night. So if you're a Republican and you still want Republican policy, but you don't want the tweets and the madness, you might go to him. If you're a Democrat that just wants to beat Trump at all costs, you see Trump as just this force of evil, and you just want the money that it's going to take to defeat him, and you think this guy will spend $2 billion to beat him, you might vote for him.
And I think something I pick up anecdotally is you want the guy that's going to fight high and low.
Yeah.
I mean, there is something, and this is a compliment, not an insult to Democrats. They follow the rules.
Absolutely.
They follow the rules. And with Trump, you can't beat him by following the rules because he cheats at everything. He asks Ukraine to help him. I mean, he cheats at everything. And there is a sense with Bloomberg, not that he'll break any rules, but that he'll go high and he'll go low. He talked about, porn and a cheeseburger and a putter being in his brain. That was our friend Tim O'Brien, too. And you cannot beat Trump unless you hit him where it hurts.
And the bottom line is, number one, you can't beat showbiz without showbiz. And Democrats don't understand showbiz, even though all of showbiz is on their side in Hollywood, but they don't understand showbiz. And the other reality is, if you want a Democrat to win, they have to know how to fight like a Republican.
That's right.
He's a Republican. He used to anyway.
So she's basically saying that Bloomberg would be a good choice for defeating Donald Trump. Her analysis is completely 100% wrong. When she brings up that, I love this idea that Republicans will vote for someone who's not on the Republican ticket. They're going to vote for a Democrat, someone with a D next to their name over Donald Trump. That's so hilarious. They literally tried that in 2016. I think it was a quote from Chuck Schumer right before the election. He's like, for every Bernie supporter we lose, I forgot exactly who it was. I want to say it was Chuck Schumer. He's like, for every Bernie supporter we lose, we're going to pick up 2 moderate Republicans. How the hell did that go for you? There is no such thing as a moderate Republican. They don't really exist, and they're going to vote for, either they're going to vote for the Republican candidate, or they just won't vote at all. They're not going to vote for the Democratic candidate. They will refuse to vote for anybody with the D next to their name. So that's absolutely hilarious. Also, she doesn't really seem to give a fuck that he's incredibly racist. That whole stop from frisk policy was incredibly fucking racist, and those audio clips are super racist that have come out, and she doesn't really seem to give a rat's ass about any of that. She's like, what? I don't care about that. And it's so hilarious to me because I'm laughing at it like, oh, she's talked about racism and stuff when it's not real racism. She's talking about towards Bernie supporters and Bernie himself. And then there's like a legit full-on racist, fully open dude, sounds like the Klan, and you're just like, yeah, man, he's cool, he can do this. And I like the showbiz comment at the end. Oh, yeah, the Democrats need showbiz, because that's how the Democrats can win elections, right? Barack Obama won doing showbiz. That, although Bill Clinton did kind of win doing some showbiz. He did go on that show with the saxophone and whatnot. But the point being, this idea that we need an actor to fight another actor is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And again, just a really stupid analysis. And so what's going to happen if Bloomberg is the nominee, you'll get to the people who are going to vote for a Democrat regardless, but you're going to get those people no matter who the candidate is. And then what happens is you're not picking up any moderate Republicans. What's going to happen is people like me and you're not voting for Bloomberg. I already know that. I don't even have to ask you. You right now. I guarantee that you are not going to vote for Bloomberg. I'm not voting for the candidate if it's not Bernie. I would literally rather donate my left nut to charity than vote for Michael motherfucking Bloomberg, because A, he's racist as fuck. B, he's a Republican. The dude spoke at the RNC, endorsed George Bush, was like, I love your war on terror. Take that war on terror, shove it inside of a dildo, and shove it in my ass. So this guy's a racist Republican running in the Democratic Party. And the biggest point, this is the worst part, is he represents everything that I hate about American politics and our capitalistic system today. Okay, I'm a capitalist. I believe that people like Michael Bloomberg, the Jeff Bezoses of the world, these people fuck capitalism up to the point where it's untenable and unstable. You can't have people with that much fucking money and then they can spend all of it in an election cycle. Dude, this guy farts out hundreds of millions of dollars that we work our ass off to raise for Bernie Sanders, because there is no limit on personal spending during a campaign. If you launch a campaign, you have $100 billion. Jeff Bezos could legally spend all of his money on his campaign because of Buckley v. Vallejo, and I think it was 72 or 74 or 76, somewhere around there. And so, because free speech, bro, hilarious, absolutely hilarious. So, he literally represents everything I hate. But again, the biggest thing that I would take away from this is that Joy Ann Reid doesn't really seem to care about racism at all. Doesn't seem to care about racism at all, because when you have a out-and-out dude who sounds like the Klan. Seriously, the dude sounds like he's part of the Klan if you listen to those fucking audio clips, okay? And she's fine with them, she's cool. She's like, oh yeah, he might be like the guy to be. What? What coalition? What the fuck are you talking about, dude? And so if you nominate Michael Bloomberg, you're literally shooting yourself in the foot. For fuck's sake, if you nominate Bloomberg, I'm never voting for the Democrats ever again. If you prove to be that fucking stupid that you do that, you don't deserve anybody's vote, dude, let alone just mine. I mean, holy smokes, that's embarrassing. And then I love how, like, people praise billionaires for like funding liberal causes or whatever. Like, that's not really real. It ends up being fake if rich people are just donating. I prefer it to be like grassroots, people run, and not like when you get that money from billionaires, it's kind of it's fake. It's artificial. It's not real. But once again, Joy Ann Reid providing horrible fucking analysis for the 9 trillionth time.